Well, National Police Commissioner Fannie Masemola is assessing the state of readiness of police at OR Tambo International Airport in Johannesburg. And this is to ensure that tomorrow's national shutdown is peaceful. SABC News reporter Ofentse Setimo gives us the latest on this story.
PS is leaving no stone unturned in ensuring safety come Monday when the planned shutdown will actually be taking place. We are coming to you from OR Tambo International Airport, where they are actually inspecting the place and checking readiness come tomorrow. Well, I'm actually joined now by the National Police Commissioner, who's going to elaborate a bit further on readiness for tomorrow. General Masemola, thank you so much for your time. Can you just elaborate on the purpose of this particular visit at OR Tambo and why you're focusing on the ports of entry in particular?
Well, OR Tambo is one of the big airports in South Africa and is a national key point. And there's quite a lot of aircrafts coming in and out, both local and international. So it is our responsibility. We felt that we must come here, come and check the readiness of the law enforcement in this specific area. And we address the parade, and one is very much happy that the law enforcement, we found them to be quite ready, both the EMPD, the South African Police Service, the South African National Defence Force, the security of AXA, including AXA. We find that they are quite ready in terms of policing their own environment. People will be able to come here and pick up their families or their people, and some will be able to depart. We need to make sure that that goes on as normal, and we are happy that the law enforcement are quite prepared and they will be able to do their work. We are happy with their plans, which they briefed us. All the system go, we are happy.
And what's your response to the criticism that maybe you are exaggerating the preparedness, as there have been other matches and there hasn't been such publicity behind how prepared you are for those particular matches?
Well, there has been a call that there will be a shutdown. It will be irresponsible for South African law enforcement to sit back and do nothing. I'm sure the nation won't be happy about that. So we proactively then make sure that we prepare countrywide. All the law enforcement will be out doing their work and ensure that people carry on with their lives. Those that decide to be on holiday, they'll carry on with their holiday. So those that want to do business, they will be doing their business. It is the responsibility of law enforcement to protect both the protesters and also the non-participants. So it is quite sometimes a very tight balance that the law enforcement have to do, but unfortunately we have got a responsibility and we must do that.
Thank you so much. Well, we are joined by the Net Joint Chair and also the Deputy National Commissioner to elaborate a bit further on the deployment of multiple forces who are going to tackle this particular shutdown. Can you elaborate on that?
Thank you very much. As indicated, as you can see, the forces that are here, we have force multiplier as the South African Police Service. We have support forces from the SANDF, as we have outlined that should the need arise to deploy or to get into the combat mode of this operation. That is why the forces that are here, that includes the security forces that will do what they are mandated to do. Each of the forces that you are seeing on the ground, they have got the primary mandates that they will discharge as and when the need arises.
And I understand you guys were investigating incidents of mobilizing, especially at shopping complexes where people are buying, and also online where people are actually mobilizing for this particular shutdown. How far is that?
The investigation is ongoing. We have a team that is working on all other intimidation, the threats, the interpretation of what we are getting, the investigation thereof, and it is a multidisciplinary team that also within it has the guidance that they are getting from the legal fraternity that we are having, from all departments to interpret the law and to assist them to compile and collect and collate all the information that will be required for them to be successful should we then go to court. What I like about our country is that we do have legal instruments that we should work within those prescripts. Each and every person if you want to protest, if you want to picket, if you want to march, you do have that constitutional mandate to do so. But as law enforcement, we also have the constitutional mandate to ensure that that protest, that march, that picketing is done within the confines of the law. And if it warrants that it needs to be investigated, that is where we are having the investigation families in the likes of your normal investigators and the detectives. We also have the DPCI that takes level 4 and 5 of such investigation. We have cyber investigators. We have the intelligence that it's guiding the investigators as well as the proactive policing of this particular operation or a mission that we are undertaking.
Just very briefly, if you can elaborate on the prosecutorial approach to investigating, which you will be embarking on during this particular period.
We have dedicated team of prosecutors that is working with our investigation team to give guidance on whether are we ready with the investigation or not ready. And this is what we call or termed prosecutorial guided investigation. So they only guide, but when it gets to the court, it takes the normal process of it being disposed of in a normal and constitutional way in terms of the laws of the country.
Thank you very much, Deputy Commissioner. Well, I'm joined now by Airports Company CEO Mpumi. Thank you so much for your time, ma'am. So as part of, the what you might call the targets, places that might be targeted tomorrow, what preparations do we have underway?
Well, it's important to indicate, and good afternoon also to your viewers, that our state of preparedness is really informed by our understanding of our operations at this particular airport. We understand where we have congestion of traffic, where we have people that normally gather, where we have people entering various sectors of the airport, from our parking environment to a terminal building to a central security point. So we will man those areas responsibly, because this is where potentially disruption to normal travel may happen. So our deployment plan and realistically managing how those areas operate is really part of what we're doing today, just to ensure we can guide people in particular parts of the airport and ensure that they can move and undertake their business. Where we have others who basically want to protest, we'll also be able to direct them to exactly where they can conduct those activities, because the airport is demarcated very specifically for areas of protest, and we'll be able to guide them there. I think it's very important to indicate tomorrow represents something that is a different day to our normal operations, and hence all of us are here to manage that difference. It doesn't mean by any means that we would be acting unless there are people who are breaking the law. So if everything is lawful, tomorrow might well be a very peaceful day, but it's our responsibility to maintain that peace by guiding the different activities that are going to occur here tomorrow and make sure that they are done in accordance with the law. We are guided by the Civil Aviation Act, and we are expected to prevent any unlawful interference to passenger movements on our platform, and that's exactly what we'll be doing tomorrow. We'll also be able to help those who want to conduct different activities to how they should do so without interfering with the operations of the airport.
Thank you very much. Well, as we heard, that's AXA CEO actually saying that, they are also prepared for tomorrow, which will not be a normal operating day, saying that, they've got their security contingent on all the entrances to the airport. And in fact, they will be working closely with the law enforcement agencies to ensure that, it's not a target come tomorrow when the shutdown will be taking place.